Alright guys, thank you guys so much for tuning back in to another episode of Hacks and Hunt. Today's quick tip is going to be learning more about an arrow. What an arrow consists of, the different parts, and things to put on an arrow before you shoot it. So you may have heard having a tip, an insert, a broadhead, fletchings, a fletching wrap, a nock, and you might not even know what any of those things are. You might know what some of those things are. If you're into archery, you know what they are. If you're just starting out, you're not quite sure what they are. So I'm going to quickly show you guys the parts of an arrow, the different things that an arrow consists of. So this right here is a complete arrow. It's got a tip, it's got an insert, it's got the shaft, it's got the arrow wrap, the fletchings, and a nock. So right here I've got them all separately in my hand. So inside this arrow is actually an insert that goes right there inside. This arrow technically has an insert that you can't see. Some inserts you'll be able to see this little aluminum ring right at the end. But what this does is it glues into the shaft, and then you actually have a tip. So right here is a field point. You use this for target practice, and that's going to screw into that. That way that is screwed onto the arrow. So that is for this end. You can get different weighted inserts as well as different weighted tips. So pay close attention to that when you're shooting and making sure you're getting the right weights for your bow, for the weight it is and everything. So just pay close attention to that. And then this obviously is the arrow. This is the arrow shaft. They come in different stiffness, so you want to pay attention to that as well. If you're shooting a higher weighted bow, you want a stiffer arrow. If you're shooting something a little weaker, you want a weaker arrow. So basically, this is a 340 arrow. So that consists of being a pretty stiff arrow. Not the stiffest there is, that's for sure. And then up here on the top, we have the arrow wrap. So you guys can see kind of that zebra pattern sticker that goes right on the top of that. That just kind of helps keep the arrow clean, helps adhere the fletchings to the shaft itself. And the fletchings, I've got one right here. Fletching looks just like that. This is the 2-inch fletching, so it's kind of shorter. Same thing with what I have here on this arrow. For the most part, on a typical arrow, there are 3 fletchings. Sometimes you'll have the 4 fletch, sometimes you'll have a 2 fletch, just kind of depending on what you want to shoot. Kind of differentiates between each archer. There's many different types of fletchings. Some are longer than others, some have curvature, different angles and things. So you'll have to check those out. There's a bunch of different fletchings. Some of them shoot different than others. And then up here at the top, I actually have a lighted nock. So that's your nock. Here's just a typical nock. Just inserts right into the arrow shaft. And that's what you're going to use to clip onto the bow. This one lights up when I shoot it. So right here, I'll show you for example. If I push it onto that arrow string, it's actually going to light up. That way, when you shoot it, you're able to see it fly through the air. If it's nighttime, you can be able to find your arrow. Some states do not allow hunting with a lighted nock, so make sure you know the laws in your state. That way you're hunting legally if you're using it for hunting. Other than that, guys, that is the quick, easy review of what an arrow is. But pretty simple, pretty easy. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching my channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it so much. I already appreciate all the support that you guys have already shown me. Anyway, guys, just have a good rest of you guys' day.